So there I am, loading box after box of my equipment into my car, while my boss watches in complete horror. With every piece I take, his face gets paler and paler, because he's finally realizing what he just told me to do. He said, "Take everything that's yours." And apparently, that's everything that keeps his company running. My boss told me to take what's mine, so I destroyed his company. Okay, let me back up and tell you how I ended up in this situation. Because this isn't just about getting fired. This is about 5 years of being the most loyal employee imaginable, only to get stabbed in the back. I was hired as a media designer. That's it, just design work. But you know how it is. You're good at your job, so they start piling more responsibilities on you. Within 6 months, I'm not just designing anymore. I'm running their biggest corporate events, managing all their AV setups, basically keeping their entire operation running. And here's where it gets really frustrating. The company was too cheap to invest in proper equipment. We're talking about a successful business that's making serious money, but they won't spend a dime on the tools we need to do our jobs right. So what did I do? I started bringing my own equipment, my personal cameras, my lighting gear, my sound systems, thousands of dollars worth of my own stuff. And here's the smart part. I made sure every single piece had my name on it. I figured if I'm lending out my expensive equipment, I better make sure it doesn't disappear. That decision saved my ass 5 years later. But at the time, I had no idea I was setting up the most epic revenge story of my life. For 5 years, I was their golden child, the employee every company dreams of having. I'm pulling off flawless events that are bringing in major clients. When technical disasters happen, and they always do, I'm the one fixing everything. I'm literally doing the jobs of 3 different departments, and honestly, I was good at it. And my boss loved it. He's saving money on equipment rentals, he's saving money on hiring more staff, he's getting premium results on a budget employee's salary. From his perspective, I was the best deal he ever made. But here's what I didn't realize at the time. I wasn't just an employee anymore. I had become the backbone of their entire operation. Every major presentation, every important client, every piece of technology that mattered, it all depended on me and my equipment. I was so integrated into their system that they couldn't function without me, but you know what? They took it completely for granted. After 5 years of literally carrying this company on my back, I was about to find out exactly how much they valued me. For 5 years, I was their golden child, the employee every company dreams of having. I'm pulling off flawless events that are bringing in major clients. When technical disasters happen, and they always do, I'm the one fixing everything. I'm literally doing the jobs of 3 different departments, and honestly, I was good at it. And my boss loved it. He's saving money on equipment rentals, he's saving money on hiring more staff, he's getting premium results on a budget employee's salary. From his perspective, I was the best deal he ever made. But here's what I didn't realize at the time. I wasn't just an employee anymore. I had become the backbone of their entire operation. Every major presentation, every important client, every piece of technology that mattered, it all depended on me and my equipment. I was so integrated into their system that they couldn't function without me, but you know what? They took it completely for granted. After 5 years of literally carrying this company on my back, I was about to find out exactly how much they valued me. My old boss retired, and the new boss took his place. Then came the worst day of my professional life. My new boss calls me into his office for what he calls a restructuring meeting. I'm thinking maybe I'm finally getting that promotion I deserved. Instead, he tells me they're downsizing, which was complete bullshit because I found out later they had already hired my replacement, some kid fresh out of college who'd work for peanuts. 5 years. 5 years of dedication, of going above and beyond, of making company look good with my own equipment and expertise. And he fires me like I'm nothing. But here's where he really screwed up. He doesn't just fire me, he tells me I can't even come back to properly pack my things, like I'm some kind of security risk after 5 years of perfect service. And then, and I'll never forget this moment, he looks me dead in the eye and says, "Take everything that is yours, as you won't be coming back." Everything, that is, mine. In that moment, something clicked in my brain. He just gave me permission to take everything I owned. And suddenly, I realized just how much of his operation actually belonged to me. That's when I smiled for the first time all day, because he had no idea what he just unleashed. I called my one ally in the office, the only coworker who saw how badly they were treating me. I told her to meet me at my car and to bring some boxes. We started with the obvious stuff: my cameras, my cables, my lighting equipment. I'm loading box after box into my Ford Explorer, and I can see my boss watching from his office window. At first, he's not too worried, but then I keep going and going and going. Professional cameras worth thousands of dollars each, specialty cables that cost hundreds, sound mixers, microphones, tripods, lighting rigs. With every box I loaded, I could see his expression changing through that window. That's when it hit him. This wasn't just a few personal items. This was the entire technical backbone of his company walking out the door. But I wasn't done yet. I walked back into that building, looked my ex-boss in the eye, and made one final request. I needed access to the AV booth and the catwalk area. You should have seen his face, pure terror, like he was watching his entire business collapse in real time. I'll never forget what I felt in that moment. I felt like the Grinch stealing Christmas, except I wasn't stealing anything. I was just taking what was mine. And that's when he realized the horrible truth. He hadn't just fired me. He had just destroyed his own company with 6 little words. What happened next was the most satisfying hour of my entire career. I cleaned out that AV booth like I was moving apartments. The main sound system, mine. The professional lighting rig, mine. The backup cameras they relied on for every event, all mine. My ex-boss is following me around like a lost puppy, finally understanding what he'd done. 5 years of me supplementing his cheap operation with my own expensive equipment, and now it was all walking out the door. And the beautiful part? It was completely legal. He told me to take everything that was mine. I was just following orders. Now, you might think, okay, so they'll rent some equipment, hire someone new, how bad could it be? Oh, you sweet, naive person, it was about to get so much worse. Because here's what my genius boss didn't consider. It wasn't just about the equipment. I was the only person who knew how it all worked together. I was the only one with 5 years of experience making their events run smoothly. They had 3 major corporate events coming up in the next month. Big clients, big contracts, the kind of events that built their reputation. Want to guess what happened when they tried to run those events with rental equipment and their inexperienced new hire? My ex-company was about to learn the most expensive lesson of their existence. I didn't even have to do anything else. I just sat back and watched them destroy themselves. The first event was a complete disaster. Technical failures everywhere, audio cutting out, lighting problems. The kind of catastrophe that ruins relationships with premium clients. The second event was even worse. By then, word was spreading in our industry about their reliability issues. And here's the best part. Their former clients started calling me. They wanted to know if I was available to handle their events independently. Within a year, my ex-company was out of business. 1 year, after firing the person who was literally holding their entire operation together. Meanwhile, I took those client relationships, my expertise, and my equipment and started my own business. Turns out, when you're actually good at what you do, you don't need a company that doesn't appreciate you. When I shared this story on Reddit, the response was incredible. Hundreds of people with similar experiences. One person took half their client base when they left. Another took thousands of custom costumes from a theater company. But I think mine was special because it was so perfectly poetic. My boss literally asked for it. Sometimes karma needs a little help, and sometimes karma just needs you to follow instructions. Looking back, I learned something important. Companies will talk about valuing their employees, but when it comes down to it, most of them see you as disposable. My boss thought he was cutting costs by firing me. What he actually did was throw away 5 years of relationship building, expertise, and infrastructure. I don't regret what happened, not for a second. Because it taught me that I was worth more than they ever gave me credit for, and now I run my own company where I decide how to treat people. If you're in a situation where you're not appreciated, remember this story. Sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's just taking your value somewhere that recognizes it. What would you have done in my situation? Let me know in the comments, and if you want more stories about workplace karma, Hit that subscribe button because I've got plenty more where this came from.